if you're not in someone's shoes, you shouldn't judge what they do. So please, please and please, when you ask for a person's service, don't downgrade it. If you cannot afford it, just say you cannot afford it. I feel like in businesses like fashion, there are places you have to be. Like, there are actually places you have to be. You see people, they'll tell you they've been sewing for 20 years and it's still that shop that they are.
What's up, guys? Today we are in Ibadan speaking to a young businesswoman, and she'll be sharing a story of how she started her business in fashion, which has now gone global. So sit and enjoy the video.
My name is Ayodeji.
Okay.
The
CEO,
the creative director behind Arike Styles.
Oh, beautiful.
So on Instagram, Arike Styles _ I'm a graduate of civil engineering. Yes. I'm a graduate of civil engineering, and I've always wanted to be a civil engineer. Like, at least, I think from SS1, I really liked civil engineering, and I struggled to become a civil engineer as per teachers in my school thought I couldn't go through. Yeah. And then when I got to school, I still struggled because for some reason, my 100 level, I failed terribly. And I said to myself, no, I'm not going to take this result home, because not because of my parents, but because at the end of the day, it's my name they write on that paper. Yeah. So I worked my way and I made sure I had the second class upper. I graduated with second class upper in civil engineering. I could have been a civil engineer. I had options where I could have actually worked. I had places I could have actually worked and be a civil engineer.
But you chose this.
Yeah, I chose this. 2017, I graduated from secondary school. I couldn't get admission. I was supposed to go to Ilorin, but whatever happened. So my mom said, you know what do you want to learn? My mom is this type of person that she believes, yes, you go to school. Yes, you are going to school, but you are learning a trade. Like, I have 4 siblings and we all have a trade that we are learning. So she said, what do you want to learn? And I told her I wanted to paint because I actually really liked drawing. I can draw a little. So I guess if only I had somebody to teach me, I would have been very good at it. But she said, you know what? Let's do tailoring. And I was like, oh yeah, now let's do tailoring. I did tailoring. When I got there, we paid. My first boss barely taught me anything because she was not around. So out of anger, I'm this type of person whereby if I want to complain about something, I would like to complain that the work is too much, not we are not doing anything. So I was really angry that we were not doing anything. And I was just always there. She would probably come and tell me, oh, this person is coming to get this clothes, this person is coming to get that clothes. That was what I did. I wasn't learning anything. So I started going to YouTube. And I think that's what I've used YouTube for most in my life, fashion designing.
So you learned fashion design from YouTube?
Yes, I learned fashion designing from YouTube. I paid classes. I paid for classes, both classes abroad and classes in Nigeria. Yeah, I paid for classes. When I get an admission, I saved my money and paid for classes online. So I learned, and there was this day I made a dress and I put it on the mannequin. I didn't know my boss was around. I didn't know she was downstairs. And then she came upstairs, entered the shop, and she didn't see anything. Because she thought it was a piece that she made, or probably I just picked it and wore it on the dummy. And then later she was like, wait, where did I get this clothes from? And I was like, I made it. And she was like, I did. And then that, I wouldn't say it's, would I say break, or it's like it's brought me to this awareness that,
like a turning point for you.
So you know that you're not teaching me anything and you're shocked I can actually make this. And I was like, you know what, okay. I gained admission, stopped going to that place, and started going to school. I got to school, couldn't continue sewing, but I was still learning because I had classes paid online. Yes.
Okay.
So school, fast forward to Corona. Yes, Corona was 2020, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2020, Corona. I worked at an hotel, and at that point, I wanted to like go and pay a person to learn how to sew again. But I don't know what happened. I didn't. I just kept working at the hotel. And then after 2022, I think there was this 8 months. Yes, there was this 8-month strike. So that's when I decided, you know what, I'm just going to. My mom was like, I cannot just keep staying, that I should probably just pay someone and learn more. At this point, I had already gathered a lot of self-taught knowledge, like paid classes, like discovered things on my own. And I paid this, my mom paid this woman for me to learn from. She's actually good at what she does.
Okay.
And then I started learning from her. And I think when I got there, they were giving me things like, go and buy thread, go and buy this one, which
That's not what you came here
That's
to do.
not what I came here to do. Oh, degrade me. No, that's not what I'm here for. So I went to meet my mom that because I didn't want to. I'm not this type of bebelube person. I went to tell my
Gotcha.
mom that to this mommy, if you tell this woman that I know how to do better than this, like Ishe Muwako is not. I didn't just come here to come and be buying things or running errands. So I think my mom spoke to her because somehow the next week I went there, I left from buying things to actually learning. Like when she was cutting, she was actually doing proper explanation and permitting my questions and answering my questions. I was like, you know what, cool. So it got to a time there was this person there were other people this time around. I was not the only person. There were like 4 other people. So she told us to turn a skirt, like to do something, sew a skirt. I sewed mine, other people sewed theirs, and then she later called me and she was like, Dad, do I know how to sew already? I was like, yes, I know how to sew. But I just came to learn more on, like I told her styles I wanted to learn, get better on, and she was like, oh, okay. I didn't know that was a trap. So I left from being someone that came to learn to actually being a staff.
So she started
without
using you.
pay. Yes.
Hey.
I became Bolu sew this, Bolu sew that. While every other person is watching how to cut and watching how to do this, I was sewing. I was just like, immediately she cuts it, Bolu, you go and join this one. Let's not lie, I was getting better at what I was sewing. But I also wanted to see, before we get to this stage now, how do we cut this thing? So there was a time my sister was getting married 2022. My sisters were getting married 2022. So I had to make their clothes. And I needed space, like I needed time. Because I couldn't keep going to a place Monday to, I think Friday or Saturday, I'm not sure. And still go back home and sew overnight sometimes. So I told this woman that, please, can I stay away for like 2 weeks? This one was like, that what happened? I said transport fare is too much. Which genuinely, the transport fare was actually too much, but that was not the problem. I just needed time to make my sister's dresses. And then she was like, you know what, that should be covering my transport. I was like, oh,
so you're very valuable.
I'm important like that. I was like, okay, ma. She covered my transport for a week. She was willing to continue until I had to lie to her that I have to go back to school, which was actually close to resumption, but then I did not know. So I made my sister's dresses, that's the first pieces I posted on my Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, great.
And that is how I started 2022. I think where you are actually really matters, and I feel like in businesses like fashion, there are places you have to be. Like there are actually places you have to be. You can't tell me no matter where I am, whoever is looking for me will look for me. Yes, no matter where you are, whoever your people will come to you. Yes, you advertise your brand, you know what you are doing, you work smart, not entirely hard. Because I cannot leave working hard aside when it comes to fashion design in Nigeria. You work hard. You actually work hard. But at the same time, you have to work smart while working hard. Because you just keep working and working and working. You don't build a structure. You don't plan your life. You're just going to work, and then you're going to stay. See, I feel like there are stages to this tailoring thing. You're going to stay in that person that owns a shop and stays at that shop. Like you don't get seen and online. You don't get to own that fashion brand you want. You don't get to move from that tiny shop to a bigger space. You see people, they'll tell you they've been sewing for 20 years and it's still that shop that they are.
Okay, so I have another question. I want to say, from construction, civil engineering to fashion designing. Obviously, you started fashion designing before construction.
Yes.
But later you decided to go into fashion designing for real. When did you get that shift that I want to focus on fashion designing, and what made you make that decision?
Where I realized, you know what, I'm done with civil engineering, was in university actually.
Inside university?
Yes.
What happened? Can you just summarize the story for us?
Please, Nigerian universities do better when it comes to construction. I think it's more of practical than theoretical aspects. Thank you.
Okay. Information gotten.
I was struggling. Like, the person just the struggle for that. See?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my IT was the most fun part of construction for me. My IT was like the best part of construction for me. Like I went to site, I got to see oh, so this is what we do, this is what we get to do. It was fun, but at the same time, we'll be staying under the sun. Because tell me why sometimes we leave the house around 7 and then we are back to 12 just because we went to site.
To 12 a.m. or p.m.
To 12 in the night, 12. Like, what happened? It's like sometimes we stay under the sun and the sun will be burning you like this, and you'll be telling artisan, Melo Lele, Shetty. No, I'm not. I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to stay under the sun, I beg. I'm not saying fashion designing is easier compared to construction, but I don't think I want to stay under the sun. I don't like sun. See, I'm trying, I'm trying. But all my life is literally just sewing, and this was a realization I had like beginning of this year, and I will not lie, I broke down because I was like, all I do is just sew.
What about work-life balance?
See, let me tell you, 99% of fashion designers are struggling with work-life balance. There's one thing I need people to know, and I'm going to say this, and I hope as many people that watch this video can realize that if you're not in someone's shoes, you shouldn't judge what they do. You come up to a person asking for their service, they tell you this is how much they are willing to do the service for, and then you downgrade that service and be like, is it not just to? Don't say it's not just to. You are not the person in that shoe. You don't get to say it's not just to. Even if, okay, maybe I was a tailor too, and I was learning fashion designing too now. Then why did you quit? Quit. Am I getting? Is that how to
Yes.
pronounce
Why did you quit?
Why did you don't get to be that person? Is demeaning to look at a person and tell them on top what, because of what. If you cannot afford it, it's perfectly fine. Tell the person you cannot afford it and move on.
But
Don't downgrade the person's work. Fashion designing takes everything for me. I'm forever grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my boyfriend. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for every person around me because they understand what I'm doing. Like, they don't fully understand because they're not the ones showing, but they actually understand what I'm doing. They see, like, it's part of what prompted me to actually start posting more. Like, I think I use Snapchat more, so I post more on Snapchat. So people can actually see that it's not easy. People sew, and I'm telling you, for the past 1 week, I've not slept like 8 hours in a day. You see that I'm sleeping 3 hours or I'm sleeping 2 hours, just because I'm trying to grow a business that actually works, just because I have decided in my life I'm not gonna be poor. My taste is on the very high side. Poverty is not my portion. And right now I've not gotten to that point where I can start employing people to work for me. So delivery man, me. Consultation, me. Owner of business, me. Designer, me. Person sewing the outfits. I'm the person doing everything. I am the beginning and the end of my business. The only help I get is probably from my siblings or from my parents by making my life easier. So please, and please, when you ask for a person's service, don't downgrade it. If you cannot afford it, just say you cannot afford it. The best thing, the one thing I know that rich, wealthy people say in this life is, I cannot afford it. And there's no shame in not being able to afford it. There is no shame in not being able to afford it. You invite me out to do something, or you tell me, and I tell you I cannot afford it. I'm not ashamed of saying I cannot afford it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I think that's our interview now. So thank you for your time. You guys should check out Arike Styles.
Yeah, on TikTok I am Boluwatife. Yes, I think Boluwatife fashion designer on TikTok, and then on Instagram Arike Styles _.
Good, beautiful. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.